Welcome back to Real America. My next guest, one of my favorites. She's becoming a staple here on Real America and One America News. Joy Villa. Joy, welcome to the show again. How are you doing, dear?
Good to be back, Dan. As always, rocking and rolling.
Yes, you are. You're always rocking and rolling, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Where do I begin? Let's first talk about, because I know this has happened to you in the past and maybe even this past week, let's talk about big tech, social media, from YouTube to Google, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. They are shutting down conservative voices. They are blocking us. They are going full out with 13 days to go. And I've seen an increase in the number of the lockouts, the shutdowns, the whatever you want to call it, just in the last week. Have you noticed the same?
Oh, I've noticed that. We've got, 13 days left of the election. And I was just looking online on Twitter today to tag you, and they haven't verified you, even though you're on TV, on news, in a public forum, and very much so. But because you're conservative, they're probably going to go through, you have to go through the red tape. But yet somebody from New York Times, they make one tweet, they get verified. People from tiny little blogs that are pro-feminist or pro-Biden get verified. So that's another way of shadow banning conservative voices by not letting us seem as if we're legitimate. The other thing is I just got a ton of people telling me they haven't seen my tweets lately. And I'm on Twitter all the time, as many of us are, because it's a very heated election. It's very critical that we reelect Donald J. Trump for president. And I have an event, a watch party here in Denver, Colorado, where I'm at on my book tour for Kickass Conservative. And I have a watch party, debate watch party this Thursday. And every time I post it, Twitter says that tweet cannot be sent. They are literally not even letting me tweet it. That's how obvious with their corruption and their censorship. And it's happened to not just me, who's a verified person on Twitter, but plenty of other small people who's never get their tweets seen. It's disgusting.
We're going to have a guest on the show tomorrow night, Joy, who is a regular, everyday, average American, retired business owner from Northwest Ohio, who simply held a small conservative rally in his hometown of 3,000-4,000 people. He invited guests to come out. He invited speakers who, some were known on social media. He invited candidates to come out that were Republicans. And he posted on Facebook, because he's in his 70s, I think he told me. He posted on Facebook a couple pics and videos of this small rally, a few hundred people. His account is entirely blocked. Facebook took his account down. Gone. Regular guy, not a politician, not you, not a public figure, not a pundit, not a celebrity, nothing. Regular day American. Account gone.
And yet Bette Midler can post the F word and scream at her president every day. They can say all sorts of disgusting things about kids. There's all kinds of things going on out there. But yet if you're liberal, somehow you don't get censored. Censorship is real, everybody, and it's mainly attacking conservatives. And this is how they keep us out of the town hall. It's illegal because Twitter is a publicly traded company. They cannot do this. They are either acting as a publisher or a platform. They are claiming to be a platform, but if you're a platform, you have to give equal free speech to all. If you're a publisher, of course, New York Times, they can pick and choose who they publish. But Twitter is reaping the rewards as a platform, but acting as a publisher.
This is why our senators have to take action and get the FEC involved, Federal Election Commission, because we all know with broadcast and print, right, if you allow someone on your air that's a candidate for 3 minutes, or you allow them to buy advertising for whatever it may be, $10,000 for 30 seconds, blah, 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 you have to allow the other opposing candidate at the exact same time. Guess what? Social media doesn't fall into that right now. The FEC needs to act immediately and change that, because I'm telling you, they have stepped this up the last 2 weeks before the election, and what they are doing is wrong, to me illegal, but it is outright disgusting when we are supposed to have freedom of speech in this country. Speaking of social media and them screwing conservatives, let's talk about what happened to some folks in the black community over the last couple of days. I'm sure you're ready to sound off on this. I watched, how do I put this? I watched Chris Cuomo finally have, I'm a big fan of his, Ice Cube on to set the record straight after he ripped him for allegedly supporting our president, which is not what Cube was doing. He's working with whoever will be open to listening to him and talk to him about his contract with the black community. And then they start ripping 50 Cent the minute he comes out and totally supports our president because he saw Biden's tax plan. And now you have folks that are not in the black community, just on the left, criticizing these two men. You, as a black woman, please sound off on this nonsense.
Well, it's interesting because this is a section of America I really know well, being a black woman and being a musician, two musician actors, right? Entrepreneurs in the industry, in the arts, very well loved by everyone in the liberal crowd until they come out and support or even work with Donald J. Trump. And this is the hypocrisy of the left. We want diversity. We want black men to win. Black Lives Matter, success, until they do, and it's not fitting the narrative. So. Fitty coming out, he said, I don't want to be 20 Cent. When he looked at,
62%.
And I said, they may have Diddy, who's copying Kanye West and trying to start a bunch of nonsense, but we got 50. And 50 Cent knows that this is what's good for America as an American, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. He looked at that. He said, I don't want to be overtaxed just like anybody else, just like, Joe the plumber, as far as celebrities, as 50 Cent. We don't want taxation to be more of a theft than it already is. And President Trump knows that. As well as Ice Cube. He says, listen, the Democrats wouldn't work with me. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they wouldn't work with me.
Well, they told him to wait after the election. They said, we'll wait till after the election. We'll talk to you after the election.
Right. Which means they're not going to, because that's not any sort of security. And Ice Cube said, no, Black America needs help right now. This is a plan that I have to help the community. He's been very active, very outspoken. By the way, very outspoken against President Donald J. Trump as well.
Right.
He's been very independent in his voice, very forward. I follow him on Twitter, and he's not,
No, he's not a fan.
Mind. He is making up his own mind, but they cannot stand that. The liberal left does not like people like me with my skin color and my background who think for ourselves. That's the point, unfortunately.
Because the left wants to continue to keep the black community on the plantation. Every 2, 4, 6 years, depending on what seat they're running for, Senate, Congress, House of Representatives rather, presidency, a governorship, whatever, it's black community, minorities, give us your vote, we're for you, and then it's the do-nothing Democrats since the 60s, since the Civil Rights Movement. They've done nothing. So they want to keep you in that box, keep voting for us, but we're never going to do anything for you. Let's be real. Look at the facts.
It's incredibly racist. It's incredibly wrong. And it is the new wave of slavery. It's slavery of the mind. Let me control you, my little black people. Don't worry. Us white Democrats will take care of you. And it's wrong. And people are waking up.
Yeah, let's hope they wake up. Joy, real quick, we got a hard wrap. They're telling me I got to go, but talk about the book and where you're at, where people can see you this week.
Absolutely. Here's the book. I happen to have a copy, Kickass Conservative. It hit number 4. Politics on Amazon. Go to joyvilla.com. You'll get 20% off if you sign up for my mailing list, or go to Amazon. And this is how I left the liberal hypocrisy and became a freedom-loving Trumplican. Kick-ass
Joy Villa, the Kick-Ass Conservative. Thank you, dear. We'll see you back real soon. Have a great day. Be safe. Coming up, there's no place like lockdowns for the holidays. Yeah, we're breaking down California's new ridiculous social distancing holiday guidelines. Don't go away.